Hi, today's video is one that when I was researching it kind of caught me off guard because it is about book series. And I actually thought I was quite a big series reader. Turns out I was wrong. There are a bunch of series that I have finished and loved and are some of my favorite books, including obviously the Darren Shan series, the Old Kingdom series by Garth Nix. But when I went digging through my shelves for this video to see which series I had started and hadn't finished and was actually keen on finishing, I didn't come up with as much as I thought. I think there are a lot of, especially YA books that were first in series that I read and then was a bit underwhelmed by. I didn't not like them, but I didn't like them enough to commit to a series because, you know, that is a pretty big commitment. So today I'll be sharing with you series that I have started and actually want to finish. The first one is quite funny to me because it must be one of the longest, like, outstanding series that I just haven't finished. It's the Divergent Trilogy. I talked about Divergent a lot, especially when I first started my channel over like 10 years ago. Didn't like super love the second one, but still enjoyed it. And I did that classic thing where I read number one and then I reread number one to read number two. And then there was another break, so then to read number three, I had to read 1, 2, and 3 again. I kept stopping at 2. I still haven't read Allegiant. And because I haven't read it, I've also kept off from watching the film, which I think went straight to DVD. I know a lot of people are going to say don't read it, it's not that great, because that's what I've heard. Let me know if you disagree. But I feel like I need to complete this series. I'm just going to have to commit and reread. I don't think I need to reread 1, because I think I remember enough of it, so I think I can do 2 and then 3 and just get it over with. I don't feel like I need to explain the plot of this, but it's a dystopian series. I just feel like, you know, I can't have peace until I finish this book. Then another oldie that in my head I had finished, and it's one of my favorite series. I haven't finished it because there were many more written that I guess I didn't realize were there. It's the Artemis Fowl series. This is actually the Dutch edition, which on the back has the quote, "Die hard with fairies." I'll take that as a description. Read this when I was really 10 or 11. Loved the characters. I have since downloaded, I think it's book 6 and 7, and there's even more. I don't even know how many there are. I've downloaded them onto my phone as an ebook because I don't necessarily want to own the full series, and I don't really love the new covers either, but I would like to see where this story ends. In case you haven't heard me rant about this, is about a very rich teenager who discovers that fairies exist. Oh, I don't even know what it's called in English because I've only read these in Dutch. In Dutch it's called the Elf Bi. Is it called Leprechaun? He kidnaps a fairy for her ransom, but he's bitten off a bit more than he can chew, and he has this butler who's almost kind of like his acting dad because his dad went missing. This kid is running this whole operation by himself. He's super smart. He's in over his head. And then the fairies come to take their hostage back. It's just fantastic. And he grows up, he learns a lot, but I'm also curious to see what it will be like to read some of these for the first time now that I'm, you know, 30 and not 11. The next series is the first one that jumped to mind when I thought of this video, and it's Patrick Ness's The Chaos Walking Trilogy. It's a chunky trilogy. The first one is The Knife of Never Letting Go. This is the second one, Monsters of Men, and then The Ask and the Answer. I'll figure that out when I read them. Does it say? Oh, it's book 3. This is the last one. Dystopian / sci-fi. It's quite violent, very fast paced. I just ripped straight through the first one. It's gonna be a film. Or is it? Who knows at this point? I've actually started following like update accounts that talk about this film because can't figure out what's going on. But I feel like there was already so much in the first book that I can't wait to see where it takes us in the next two, because I have no idea. I haven't read any of the backs. This is just a total blank for me, and it's also one that people keep telling me to keep reading, so it's a crowd favorite. And then 2 more. That's all I have. I talked about it as one of my favorite books of last year, so if you want to hear more about that, link will be in the description. But it's Scythe by Neil Shusterman, about professionals who exist to kill people because human beings have figured out how to stay alive for forever. It's not really working out population-wise. This was filled with twists and turns. I loved the main characters. It had some Hunger Games vibes. It just keeps you pulled in, and I got book number 2 from the library, so I'll be continuing that very soon. Then the last one, I wasn't sure if I could count it for this video because I haven't technically finished the first one yet, but it is the Broken Earth trilogy. The first one is the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. She's won so many awards. Also, it's interesting because my boyfriend has read the full series, and I think it may be one of the first ever series that he's finished. It has a bit of a like curve to get into it because you're meeting lots of different characters in different places, in different situations. But I just want to end this video by reading the opening of this. This is what you must remember. The ending of one story is just the beginning of another. This has happened before, after all. People die. Old orders pass. New societies are born. When we say the world has ended, it's usually a lie, because the planet is just fine. But this is the way the world ends. This is the way the world ends. This is the way the world ends for the last time. And if that isn't right up my street, then what is? I mean, in saying that I don't have that many series to finish, if you imagine this with like the 2 further books in each series on top, that's quite a lot of reading. So, you know, I think I have plenty to get on with. If you have very strong feelings about which ones of these I should prioritize, please let me know. And of course, I'd love to hear which series you're hoping to finish, or maybe one that you've been stuck on for, you know, like me, I don't know, 10 years. Don't forget that you can follow what I'm reading on Goodreads. I am also on Instagram at Books and Quills, and that is it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Doei!